I want to share Evercade's latest, and this is a library feature that just was released yesterday, April 10th, and want to show what this can do. You can use this feature on the EXP handheld or the Versus, and what it does is it gives an overview of all the games and collections released in visual form on the Evercade. And you go to the library section and you can see and search for particular games, what collection were they on, and what games were on each multi-cart. Very awesome feature. You can search by game, by collection. This is a much needed thing. And yes, it's an incentive to buy more, but it really does break down, hey, has this game been released and what collection is it on? It's a thumbs up for me, and I really like it. And it's a good way of finding a particular game and what collection it was on. So Evercade sent me its latest. This is Picco Collection 4, and I know there's going to be a lot of people curious about how 64 games run on the Evercade. Bad Street Brawler. There's a eclectic combination of games that is on this release. And there's 10 games. Bad Street Brawler, kind of a subpar NES game. You know, not my favorite. Not a game I'm probably going to go back and revisit, but here it is. But the one that probably many people are interested in is Glover. And this is above average 3D platform game. And you know what? It's running pretty good. It did take a while to load up on my Versus, and I don't know, if that's just something normal. So actually it took so long that I had to make sure that my cartridge was working correct. It just takes a little bit longer than a standard game to load. So just a heads up on that. But you know what? It seemed to be playing fine. And I know that many people have fond memories of this 3D platformer. I don't have a lot of experience playing this game, but definitely one I want to go back and play more. But continuing this weird collection of games, you have Mermaids of Atlantis, which is like the G-rated version of Bubble Bath Babes, which was an adult title release. This is not. This is just a standard puzzle game, match colors, and here you go. This is a puzzle game that I don't have much experience playing either, as it was released by American Video Entertainment back in the day for the NES. But one that I played a little bit more is Risky Woods. I did a ranking video for Electronic Arts a few years back. And you know what? This is a platformer, pretty challenging game. This was a computer release as well for the Amiga. You know what? This is a pretty challenging platformer. And while I like some of the other games EA published back in the day, I know that some people are going to have good memories of this game and are happy to see it released here. And this just continues the eclectic collections that Picco Interactive has on the Evercade, but it's a nice variety. If anything, there's a wide variety of games on this collection, and there's going to be something that people I think are going to gravitate to. And for that $20 price point, it's pretty awesome. Now then you have releases like this. This is Jagger, and this is a Super Nintendo platform. I don't know what I think of this game. I don't remember playing this. In fact, I remember seeing this at rental stores and avoiding it. I'm not the biggest fan of this release, and this is just one of those games on this collection that I'm probably not going to play a ton, as I just think it's just a kind of a substandard platformer, and one that I don't prefer playing. I'd much rather play some of the many other excellent releases either on Super Nintendo or Genesis. Now that's the other challenging thing, is it doesn't tell you what platform these come from. I do believe that's a legality issue. I've brought that up in other videos as well. I wish they would do that, but I think they can. Here is Star X, and this to me is kind of like a discount Star Fox. It's not bad. Control is a little bit off, but you know what? I did enjoy playing this, and this would be one of the games that I would revisit and play on this collection. And then you have stuff such as Street Racer. This definitely has that like Mode 7 original Mario Kart kind of perspective. Not bad though. This was a fun game, and you know what? I don't remember playing this at all. growing up in the 90s, and so going back and checking this out, not bad. Not bad. Do you have any memories of playing any of these in the comments below? Let me know, as you know what, this is a kind of an interesting eclectic collection, as I mentioned before. And I know that there's going to be some people that are going to love these games and other people that are going to prefer other games. But anyways, this one wasn't bad, and definitely better than I anticipated, and one I would definitely play again. If you're a fan of brawlers and side-scrollers, you may want to check out Target Renegade. This does borrow heavily from some other popular games such as Double Dragon back in the day. Definitely has some graphic aspects that they borrowed from that series. But you know what? This wasn't terrible, above average, and I definitely would go back and play this, as you know what? I enjoyed it and actually thought it was pretty decent. I didn't play this one. I was a bigger fan of Double Dragon back in the day, but definitely one I want to go back and play. Then they had weird stuff such as the Fidgets. It's a Game Boy puzzle platform game in which you're trying to control a few characters. The first character is maneuvering and positioning blocks so that your second character, which cannot jump as high, can navigate through the same level. Not my cup of tea, not a game I'm probably going to go back and play, but this obscure and uncommon game release, not bad. But a game that I would gravitate to more would be Zero Tolerance Underground, an unreleased sequel to Zero Tolerance on the Genesis, showing that a first-person game could be done on the 16-bit platform. And this is well done. It plays very familiar to Zero Tolerance, a few extra weapons, and different story. But anyways, that rounds out a pretty interesting collection of games and gets a thumbs up, as it's only $20. The other collection released is a Sunsoft Collection 2. Now, I really enjoyed the first Sunsoft Collection, so how does this one compare? First, you have Arrow the Acrobat 2. I did a ranking video years back on the Genesis one, and I like that version. Now, this does have good control. It takes a little bit to get used to. It's got colorful graphics, good sound. I think this is above average platformer, and I think it gets a thumbs up for me. Then you have Blaster Master Enemy Below. This is a Game Boy Color release, and it's known for having really excellent graphics. And if you're a Blaster Master fan, you get to check this out. And this is another combination of some classic Sunsoft games, some of them getting harder to find, all in one collection. Now, I would rather play the original Blaster Master, but maybe you grew up with the Game Boy Color version released in 2000. And so, not bad. This is a game that I would definitely go back and play. And then you have Weird Days Before Christmas. This is a Christmas platformer. There were so many platformer style games coming out in the 90s, and so this is an oddity included here. This might be a kind of a fun game to play around the holidays. This game is just okay for me. I think I had a time in which I was playing lots of platformers. I just going back and playing it was just okay. Galaxy Fight is a Neo Geo game release, and I don't have a ton of experience playing this game in particular, so it is nice to break up all the platformers offered on this release and offer a fighting game. Now, I do wish there was Evercade. I wish Evercade released like a joystick, definitely for some of the fighting games that's offered on their platforms. But you know what? Maybe in the future. Then you have Primitive Princess, which is a puzzle platform type game. You know what? This is not my favorite. I tried getting into this. I just didn't like the gameplay style. For some people out there, do you remember this one? Have you played it? Do you like it? Anyways, in the comments below, let me know. But you know what? It just shows the robust diversity of an Evercade cartridge. Game Boy, Neo Geo, Super Nintendo. You know what? All on one cartridge. A legal way to play. And then you have rare games such as Euphoria The Saga. And this is kind of an oddity, a unique platformer that had unique graphic and control. And you know what? You might be really excited that this is released. Do you remember this one? Are you excited that games such as this are included on this Evercade release? Only 20 bucks too. So, you know, this entire collection of some Sunsoft classics is only going to set you back 20 bucks. And the affiliate link is below, and you may want to check these out. But you know what? I think you can do much worse. I do believe that I like the first Sunsoft collection better, but this isn't bad. This is, you know, the first Sunsoft collection is actually one of my favorite collections on the Evercade. And now you have weird stuff like this, Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel, which was in production, I do believe, around the same time as Arrow the Acrobat 2, which was the nemesis of the main character. And so, you know what do you think? In the comments below, let me know. I'm going to be picking these up. And as always, I cover all the Evercade releases. I have a playlist. If you like what you see, consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you take care.